Hello and welcome back to another episode of our 4th Age Total War Dorwinion campaign. Now, in the last one, I spent a lot of time hemming and hawing, sort of building up for this attack on Nerrig-Zagil. But on reflection, it occurs to me, that, and this is something that I think did occur to me halfway through the episode, this is maybe not the best place for me to take right now. Let's look at the diplomacy. So, we are currently allied with the Chiefdom of Rune. This is a very large faction right over here. They own, like, all of Nirn, or at least they will very soon, I assume. They've definitely conquered into here. They've conquered into Gorgoroth, even. And they are currently not at war with the Reunited Kingdom or with Rovanion. They're relatively keeping to themselves, southeast of Nerrig-Zagil, but they have sent some forces up into that territory. So, if this army doesn't decide to move on its own, which it may, we may have a much harder time taking this place. But even if it does, and even if Nerrig-Zagil didn't have this kind of monstrosity inside of it, it would still be a questionable proposition, even if I could just walk in and take it. And that is because, of course, Nerrig-Zagil does border the southern borderlands, which is a province of Rune. And if we share a border with them, then we're going to go to war. So this is kind of an important province to keep in someone else's hands, because I don't want to fight endless stacks of runes right now. If we do go to war with Rune, my plan is going to basically involve naval raids. We're going to have some armies that we can put together from Belligant, send them by ship over here, where presumably Rune's armies are going to be a lot smaller. And they've got some very wealthy provinces, probably with a huge population, and lots of buildings that we can destroy to make ourselves nice and rich and set them back a few decades in the boot. So that's the plan for eventually, but I don't want to do that just yet because we have some other things we need to take care of. That includes sort of keeping an eye on this blob here around Rovanos, the potential loss of Rovanion as a buffer state between, these other factions, which we've just recently gone to war with, and then also potentially Dale. So it has occurred to me that we might try a different tack altogether. If I were to place some units on territory that is part of the lands of Erebor, that may induce the dwarves here to move out and attack that army. Meanwhile, I have a real army posted somewhere nearby to quickly assault and storm Erebor once these guys are a turn or more away. So that's what I would like to try to put together today. Now, the challenge with that is that the army right outside Erebor is very large, but our bait army would not be intended to defeat them. It would just be intended to distract them, to get them away, and then once/if we do take Erebor, this army will march off to defend some other Dwarven territory, probably to the Iron Hills, or maybe up here into the north. So in other words, we wouldn't have to worry about this. If we take a look at the garrison, just a couple of units. So, the sooner we do it, the better, right? Before they have time to build up population a little bit, although it is falling here, so maybe they won't. So if we can get this army away, we might be in business, and Erebor makes a lot more sense for us to take than Nerrig-Zagil. Of course, Nerrig-Zagil would extend our border, would open us up on another front, but Erebor doesn't. There's no one around here other than dwarves and maybe some rebels to the north. So we could take it and we could immediately open up a lot of trade between ourselves, Dale, between Hjorth, between all of these other settlements that border it. The big problem here is that this army under Lieutenant Yari is kind of stuck because we are, of course, at war. So notice that they've got a tiny little movement area. I'm not sure if that is going to prevent them from moving at all, or maybe if we move some armies in the province here, they'll leave this army where it is and instead send some people from the Iron Hills or wherever. I don't think I want to take the Iron Hills, because that by now does border Rune, and so I'd prefer this stays in the hands of the dwarves as long as possible. What we'll do is we'll get a couple of spies going. We'll send them up here to see what things look like. We'll send an army up, probably this guy, maybe with some cav as the bait, and we'll see what the dwarves do. Meanwhile, we're keeping an eye on things down around Rovanos, around Thrimfeld, and of course down here to see if the Reunited Kingdom and Rune are perhaps going to finally go to war. So let's just end the season here. Alright, the elves keep attempting to bribe us. Alright, so no changes down here on Brig Estelad. It looks like the big army's moving away, but as we've said, before, oh, this looks so much worse. They've moved a different noble inside, and, don't know how old this guy is, but they've got more troops even. So something's really going to have to change around Nergzigil to make me even want to consider taking it. So let's just kind of casually move this army up into the north. Yeah, let's grab those mercenary cav and take a look at our news. Okay, Reunited Kingdom in Dunland. That's probably just the continuation of another war that's been going on forever. So, okay, we've got troops in Dale and Esgaroth, or scouts rather. So let's move them out. Alright, so we'll take the worst one. We don't need him to have any great skill, we just need him to see what's around. Alright, so, and this is a Dwarven settlement up here. There's not too much in there. I don't want to take that settlement. It's not going to give us very much in terms of income.
Yes, master. Secrecy is assured.
Okay, doesn't look like anyone's around.
Captain.
So we'll move the army up here.
Ready to ambush. Captain.
And you know what? Let's take all the cav, and we'll just move them up onto the province sort of in a provocative manner. We are training some more foresters, so let's bring them up too. This could be the army that assaults. It's not a great army, but it's got some ranged stuff. We're getting some more foresters to join. We could train up some longwomen too and send them along. So if this army does move out, that might be the army that I end up taking. Alright, and over here, we've got 7 and 6 turns, respectively, for these two provinces of North Rune. But we're making a decent amount of cash, I guess. Okay, the Beornings just have besieged Arab Gobel. So we will need to address that. Let's see what they have. Alright, looks like a full stack. Right, there's a Yorling army. So quite a few archers here. Enough cav to be a problem. And some Beorning axemen too. So this is, one of their, it's a decent army.
Captain.
And this is not really a decent army, but I think we could we could do something with it. So let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, and slingers. Yeah, let's take this other archer and forester. And since we're not bordering them, let's try again for peace. Let's see. Although it looks like, yes, Reunited Kingdom just took Brig Estelad. So that's going to open up their border. Now, they may lose it to a revolt, but it's going to open up their border with Rune, which they already have somewhere down here. Yeah, so they have the fort here. The Rune has taken this fort, but the Reunited Kingdom has the Udun region. So they're all right next to each other. They're not allied. They're not at war. Maybe this will change that. It would be nice. But they don't border us, so let's try for peace again. Let's ask for just a little bit of money. Okay, great. And let's see if we can get peace with Rohan as well. I'm going to ask for a little bit more, because I think they're more willing to pay. No, okay. Alright, so we got a little bit of money out of them. We'll just keep doing that.
Your Honor.
Alright, these guys have not moved. So it could be because they're stuck. Maybe they can see through my plan. Maybe they're sending troops from somewhere else.
Your honor, on my way.
So I think from here we'll be able to see.
Your honor, on my way. Secrecy is assured.
And there's quite a lot here in Barra's Doom. Dwarves of the Iron Hills, one of my favorite units in the Dwarven roster for sure. A lot of Warhammers and a family member. So we couldn't, you know, very easily take that.
Orders, Captain.
But we'll leave this army here for a little bit more. Those cav. I think meantime we may want to move down towards Holt.
Yes, master.
Right, to make good the promise that we've given to Dorwinion.
Noble master, at once.
There is a big army here.
Orders.
I mean, we're not at war with them yet. If we take Holt, that would almost end the borders that they share. Actually, it would. Although Thrimfeld... No, I think that's it. Thrimfeld really only borders Holt. So if we took Holt, then Dorwinion would only be at war with, you know, all these other guys to their south. That would still probably be sufficient for them to not want to turn on me. If we could take Arab Gobel, or we could, you know, kick them off, take Holt for ourselves. We might even manage to get Holt and pull this army back. But let's see. Let's bring all you guys down. We'll leave the cav up there in case something changes.
Captain.
And let's pile on some archers.
Captain.
Yes, Captain. Forward! Out of move, sir! Sir!
Yeah, we'll join up the archers there. I mean, this army can hit Holt, theoretically, right? And then this one, this army can hit the Arab Gobel force, while this army under Gudmund takes Holt, or at least threatens it. Okay, it doesn't look like this is working, unfortunately. They're not even trying to move. Like, if they had moved even a single tile, like down to here or down to here, I would think, all right, it's pulling them towards me, but that seems not to be the case. So we'll bring the cav back down. Bring the archers over. Let's just explore. Okay, where's that big army?
Your honor, at once.
Okay, I don't know if he's the same guy.
Yes, master.
Orders. Captain. Sir. Forward. Moves depleted, sir. Sir.
All right, let's do this. Let's hit him now. We'll have a nice big backup here in the form of Dorwinion's force.
Captain.
Can we hit him this turn?
Move out.
We can at least get there. There's a reinforcement or a mercenary. What would be good? Probably some cav. They got 4 or so units of their own.
Engage the enemy.
All right, yeah, we're currently neutral. So this is going to open up war between us and the Beornings. We've got a wonderful ratio here. So let's see how it goes. Man, our cav looks good. This guy, I wonder if he's the heir. Sigthorn. Oh no, he's the king. This is Sigthorn of Dorwinion, right. So he's looking a little old, little gray beard here. So that means we're going to have to be a little careful with him, because you tend to pick up some bad traits as you get older. Alright, so these are all... We've got a million skirmishers. Archers are in the back, skirmishers are out front. I mean, I guess that's kind of okay. Let's put the axemen over there. Yeah, something like that. And we can lean on Rovanian's army a little bit for this.
Your reinforcements have arrived.
Okay, there they are.
This is hopeful news indeed.
So we'll just speed up the action until they arrive. I really don't want to have to go into the woods to fight all those Beornings because a lot of those units are going to get bonuses there. And it's not going to be very friendly to our archers. So Rovanion will arrive, and then we'll take it up from there. Oh, looks like maybe not. It looks like they're withdrawing. Alright, I should have known. Just as well, I would rather not have to fight on this particular battlefield with the trees, with the rain. Okay, so that's not too bad. That puts us at war with the Beornings, probably from now until the end of time. But they're going to retreat to near Holt. They're not going to get in the city, but they're going to get next to it, so let's see. Possibly just across the border. And this happens whenever an army retreats from the battlefield. If you get to the battlefield, this is what they will do. If you don't get to the battlefield, if you just auto-calc, they'll tend not to retreat this far. Or if they retreat before agreeing to battle. Right, so that's why sometimes the AI will do this. It's like they know the loophole whereby they can get a ton of free movement points. Alright, so we lost an emissary in the Upper Anduin Vales, and we lost a nobleman. Oh, he's the general, the governor in Rathman. Okay. That's kind of a shame, but we've built up a lot there, and we were going to have to do the major province before we did anything else anyway. This is pretty good. Dorwinion Watch and Dorwinion Bowmen. We could get more men-at-arms and halberdiers, but I think that's fine. We can get them out of Elegant until we get another governor. Alright, so we saved Arab Gobel with not a ton of effort.
Yes, Captain. Orders.
And we'll have to bring all of our forces together.
Your Honor. Your Honor.
Okay, an army did step outside of this, so they've left the governor and another unit in the Iron Hills, so they were probably moving out to head in my direction. But I'm just not going to worry about that. Again, I'd rather not have the Iron Hills anyway. All right, and looks like they're shaping up to lose Breg Estelad here, moving out all their forces except for the family member.
At your service. On my way.
All right, big army right outside it. So we may not be able to save them. And look at this. Look at all the mail on these guys. Shields of the Mark, Riddermark Spears, Riders of the Mark, family member led, and they've got another Reunited Kingdom force with Guards of the Citadel. I'm kind of worried at this point.
Orders.
You know, just because of our situation, we're sort of forced to war on our weaker neighbors, which is giving us potentially a false sense of security. Alright, so if the Dwarven Gambit's not going to work out in the north, I just need to abandon it, and we need to focus on something else. We've got 11 provinces, we need quite a few more. So in order to get that number up, we're going to have to go for an all-out conquest of Wilderland, essentially. We're going to go for Holt, we're going to go for, what is this, Grimhold. We've got Oldford up here, their capital, and then we've got the capital of the Kingdom of Dale, who, again, I like to leave factions alive, and this might be a good one to leave alive, because whoever ends up winning in Eriador has easy access here through the mountain passes once they take care of the orcs that live in the forts up here. So an easy way to kind of plug that hole is to keep another faction right here at Framsburg, and so Dale might be a useful faction just to keep alive for that purpose. Maybe the same thing applies to the Beornings if they've taken the high pass right around here. We leave them alive up there, and then otherwise take all of their good land. That's still not too many provinces, and then we're going to need to sort of expand. So this is where I always run into trouble with Dorwinion, is that kind of mid-game, you know, you can get over that initial hump without too much trouble, but then it becomes a situation where you're up against some very big, very powerful factions. All right, but I think we do need to focus on the Beornings next anyway, and then see what we can do about the big guys. Yeah. And this, we can't have this falling because it's going to go, you know, it borders Rathwin and Beligant, right? Dorwinion, so...
Captain.
And they haven't really left too much open down here for us to work with either. Okay, this has rebelled, so we'll see. Maybe Rune takes it.
At your service. On my way.
Okay, we'll keep a little visibility on that.
At your service.
Move a spy up.
Moving.
Alright, visibility is actually kind of bad for some reason around here, but what else do we have? Do we have a spy in Rovanost? We do. Okay, he's gonna die soon, though. Guards of the Citadel. Quite a lot of archers. Alright, let's take the news. Okay, Tan of the City of Dale is First Lord of the Watch. Very nice, okay. So this is just a title you can get. Extra authority, extra command when defending. Alright, he's not really going to use it too much up there, but that's fine. The income is kind of falling, too.
Captain.
Well, I guess it's understandable. We're losing a lot of trade partners. Alright, I think this is the army I just kicked off, or maybe this... No? Yeah, I guess that would be it.
Captain.
So what do I do with this army?
Your Honor. Yes, Master.
See, the spy doesn't need to be in the town because the town is not going to rebel. He needs to be used for visibility. This is an army that maybe we could beat.
Secrecy is assured.
And I don't see anyone else.
Captain.
Alright, yeah, let's move down on their land. And I don't think we'll be attacked here. So we may as well use up all the movement points. Let's just check the age. Yeah, he's seasoned.
Captain.
Alright, but here's 4 cavalry.
Captain.
Forward!
Yes.
And let's move the spy back through.
Sir. Moving. Secrecy is assured. Moves depleted, sir.
Your Honor.
Okay, yep, Gardar is right up there. So, can we hold out against them if we attack Holt?
Captain.
We could just about reach it this turn, I think. We'd put it under siege, then they would turn and hit us, but let's do it.
Besieging settlement, sir. Settlement under siege,
And we can
sir.
get a woodman, I guess. We've got some of our stronger units here, but it's still a weird army, to be sure. Alright, let's just move you guys over to reinforce this eventually. And what do we want to do with Hjorth? I mean, if the Elven King's Halls, if this was a little less well defended, I would consider attacking it, but I just don't like the odds. This has also got some very strong units, but I think it might be time to move west. You know, we're attacking the Beornings now anyway. What does this look like in terms of public order if we take him out? He's mature.
Captain. Yes, Captain.
So let's leave a Barding militia guy. Okay, that's not too bad. We've got plenty of archers.
Forward.
Alright, be careful here, because if we move and get in the zone of elven units, we are going to be trapped. So,
Move out.
careful how we're going.
Onward. Move the
This is all my land, so this is not going to hurt in terms of getting supplies out there. And the Beornings didn't take the attack. I was sure we were going to get hit, and I don't even know where they went. Okay, interesting. So either Rovanion beat them fair and square, or they just decided to pull off. All right, we've got another son coming of age, Dragmal. He's up in Dale. That's actually great. He's a man of Dale, House of the Dragon Prow. Okay, so he could be a good governor. He's intelligent. How old is his dad, though? Middle-aged.
Captain.
And what about you, Gudmund? Okay, Gudmund looks young. Mature, yeah. So I'm thinking where we need somebody is probably down around here, because he's going to die pretty soon. We do need another general.
Captain.
So let's bring him down south and put him in position to take over when the time comes for that. So here, I guess we can just move in. 180 men. Do we auto-calc it? I think so. Clear victory. Very few losses. Holt falls, and we'll just occupy it. And I'm just kind of shocked that they didn't put up a fight. They could have gotten around us, too. This is not... it's not a problem for them to do that. So where did they end up?
On my way. Moves depleted, sir.
Yes. At once. Your honor.
All right, emissaries finding nobody.
Your honor. On
There's Gardar. So there is still a Beorning host somewhere on the loose. Probably in one of these trees, and maybe they'll hit me again. All right, so let's take a look at the timing of the sieges we're holding on to. 2 seasons, 3 seasons. We're up above 80,000. And we could, you know, see about destroying some buildings here to make that go up a little bit. Although Hjorth, look at that. All of a sudden, down to 70. Now, it could be because, you know, this building here is damaged. Maybe it counts like it doesn't exist. Okay, yeah, that hasn't changed anything. So that's actually great. So we'll just make money off of destroying that. We got to keep the palisade. I want to keep the Lord's Feasts. We benefit from that. They've got a merchant square for me already built. It's a financial policy, so yeah, that makes sense. We don't get anything very good here. We're going to get some woodsmen, axes, and spears. And at the highest level, I don't think there's anything too special. Yeah, it's just Rovanian stuff. So nothing too exciting, so we can go ahead there. So let's start provincial pacification, and let's, oh, that's going to hurt. But I think we want to do it anyway. Low taxes, and let's see, I don't think we ever got around to building proper military stuff up there. Let's go ahead and just move some guys from here.
Ready to ambush. Forward.
Maybe we'll even send another one because it seems rather volatile.
Sir.
And this army can just move over. Alright, so we've got trolls, we've got orcs up in the Grey Mountains, Hold. And crossing over here is going to put us onto Dale's lands. Alright, I think I'm going to hold off. No, no, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Alright, this is kind of awesome that it happened because it's very cool. I just thought I'll just step over here so I could maybe lay an ambush in case Dale started to come. But yeah, okay. So there's we're ambushed. At least there's no trolls, but there's some orc champions. There's wargs here. Warg riders, so 2 units of those. 1, 2, 3 full units of orc champions. Oh man, okay, so we have to fight this. We can't retreat. And what do they have for archers? 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's it. We've got more archers than they do. And we've got some good units, some shreds of some good units. Jeez, I don't want to fight orcs. Like, there's not really much point of to doing it other than this, you know, clearing out these ambush positions. Okay, so we're going to have to think about this. Of course, I don't know where they're going to be. And I can't move around the camera. I can't select units. It's been a long time since I've been ambushed. Alright, well, we're not going to pause. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. We're just screwed here. If I'm not going to pause... Alright, let's hit them with that. We got spearmen there to hit the wargs. Militia levies can turn. We're just going to lose a bunch of guys. Wow! Alright, the orc champions are just rushing in. My gosh. Okay, get off skirmish. We're going to go up and kill the archers. Maybe there's no point in killing the archers, right? Like, maybe we should just come back here. Yeah. Okay, so the wargs are the general unit, which is a little weird. Let's go ahead and hit the champions. It says it's a charge. I'm not sure it's going to be a good one. Okay, that's pretty decent. Very, very nice. 60. All right, good, good, good. The spearman took him out. All right, let's pull back. We lost a lot of men, too. We lost like half. Oh, my gosh. Oh, shoot. Orc band. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Alright, we can withdraw at this point, which is a little weird. Yeah, orc band, these are spears. Should I withdraw and save the general? These guys are not super strong. Let's see if they'll pursue me or the archers. Alright, still got some wargs. What's this? Some warg riders. Alright, so they can do damage to cav. But let's hit them. I feel like doing this anyway. See if we can take out the orc champions. Alright, great. Orc blades are not super strong, relatively. Oh, but here comes the cav. The warg riders. Alright, blades are out. Nice. Let's pull through them here. And there's more champions. 72 remaining. Okay. We already took out their general. But their wargs are not routed off the field. Yeah, I think we gotta pull out. Oh, okay. We're gonna lose our general. Nope, maybe not. He's getting shot at. He may run into some orc band along the way. Let's get him out of that. Alright, I think we're going to get him out. Wow. I hate that that happened, but that's really cool that that happened. I remember earlier in testing, at some point in the build, we had a bit of a conversation about that particular orc hold. Alright, you guys just need to withdraw. Because it seemed like it was kind of useless. It wasn't really serving much of a purpose. And one thing that we did, and I can't remember whose idea this was we moved the border just a little closer towards like that crossing, right? The border of this province was a little bit different, the Grey Mountains Hold region. Yeah, the southern foothills. It's a tiny province, and it used to be a little bit smaller. And so we just changed it so just enough so that, like, if you happen to get a little too close to the border like I did, you could get ambushed. And the AI does make use of it. So that's pretty cool. All right, well, we're going to be making, maybe a bit more money now, although it doesn't seem to have saved us all that much, actually. Projected profits, 887. Very sad, very sad. We've got our general. Let's see if he picked up any bad traits, actually. I don't think so. Nope. Alright, so we've still got him. And we do need to build up some forces in the area in case Dale decides to get a muster to go towards Hjorth. Alright, so what do we do with this army? This is my king. Do we hit Guthwin? Do we hit the Reunited Kingdom? This army looks kind of hurt, relatively. I think we want to wait until they're like besieging a city so we can get those reinforcements. I think that's the best use of our time. So how's he for supply? Just supplied. So I think we got to get closer. We got to operate relatively close to friendly, our own territory, because we don't stay supplied too much on your allied lands. I think it's maybe better than being on enemy lands, but you are going to lose supply levels. But regardless, I don't want to fight either of these units really alone. Alright, move up there, and we can take advantage of whichever way they go. We can go towards it. Alright, I forgot about them, so let's halt that, actually. Alright, there was like a settlement with like 3 family members that I need to find now. Because... where is that? Is that Dorwinion? Yeah, it's Belligant, okay. Alright, so this is the guy who is going to age out of governorship. He's seasoned. He's good, but he's getting too old. Then we've got an adept commander and a competent governor. So you should probably stay behind. Yeah, Tower Man. Ugh, he only got the negative trait. Still, he's a better governor than a general. And this guy, I think, is a better general than a governor. Alright, 3,000 coming in.
Orders.
And no actual sieges just yet. Let's get across the border. Check the supply. Still supplied. But yeah, let's go here. I think we can get to either of those places before they actually assault. We can move into Hjorth. That's good. Alright, I guess we need to move this army all the way back to Dale.
Waiting to ambush. Move out.
Oh, nope, don't go on Dwarven land. Alright, you gotta watch that. But actually, they couldn't get to us anyway, could they? So it's not really much of a problem. Okay, here's a big one. Reunited Kingdom at war with Rune. Oh. Okay, they made peace because they no longer share a border. So that does make sense. Alright, maybe I can make peace with them. But I need to get some land. Okay, yes, that's the old spy down around Rovanos, so we need to train up a few more. Actually, let's do this here in Holt, because we can get them out immediately. Alright, population here is just so tiny. Let's keep all the money, and then we're going to try this, because we do need to pull off the sieges.
Attack! Lift the siege!
Captain,
Attack! Lift the siege!
yes, I shall speak with them at once.
Alright, accept overlordship. Take all my money. Nope, not enough.
Orders? Prepare
Alright.
for battle! Besieging settlement, sir! Settlement under siege, sir!
Captain,
Prepare for battle! Besieging settlement, sir! Settlement
Now, I
under
guess
siege,
it might
sir!
make sense to start,
Captain,
you know, getting some mercenaries here every now and then, just to keep the numbers up. That's going to help the Protectorate be more likely to succeed.
Sir!
Okay.
Orders?
But yes, let's move you over. Join the king. Well, stand next to him anyway. And we'll take over when that becomes reasonable. Now here, can we trust Dorwinion, right? They're the allies that we have. They're really hard pressed. So I think we can. And if we can't, if they attack us, if this induces them to attack us, then okay, it's on, and we're gonna, you know, we'll hit back at them.
Captain!
Let's do this. Let's grab another Merc just for garrison purposes. Although it doesn't look like we need him, does it?
Captain,
Okay, but who do we need? If we're gonna go through the woods, which is the only path, we have to have an army that's gonna make some sense for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cav plus this young-ish general. And then we've got some fairly feeble units. What is this? More skirmisher types. I mean, we could send them out ahead, honestly, to see if there's anything waiting.
without
But that's kind of what all these agents are for.
On my way.
Captain,
Orders? Forward! No more moves, sir! Sir! Move out! Waiting to ambush!
Yes, master.
Alright, we'll see if Gardar is going to gonna fight, or if he's just gonna wait.
Orders? Prepare to ambush!
Interesting, they're kind of pulling off. Alright, we do have to keep an eye on that, too. Did I not train up a bunch of spies? Oh, that's right, I canceled it. Alright, so we'll get a spy down here, because we have to have someone in this region. And let's try for peace again. Let's say ceasefire, let's demand 1,000. Okay, they'll take it. And what about the Reunited Kingdom?
speak with them at once.
Let's demand 1,000 out of you too. Okay, you know what? We're just going to be totally at peace with them. We got 1,000, and we're not like committed to anything. That doesn't really do us that much good, but it makes it, you know, now we're not going to be right back at war with Rohan next turn.
Sir! Sir!
All right, now he's well supplied. Great. Okay, we've got a replacement general down here. I feel like maybe we can send this guy west, actually. And he can help out here because we may need a couple of family members for that.
Your honor. Sir! Forward! Ambush in place.
At your service. Yes, master.
Orders?
Your honor, on my way.
Sir! Forward!
All right, so we're going to be able to attack them like very soon here.
Your honor. At once. Sir! Forward! No more moves, sir. Move out. Sir! Onward!
And what can we do here? Pretty much everything. This is actually a great province. The issue is the population, so we do want to be somewhat careful. So I'll go for you and you, but as for everybody else, we actually need you to get out.
Captain! Orders?
Because it's on automatic retraining.
Prepare to ambush!
So I think that's, yeah, that's fine. Oh, there's the army. There's the army. Okay.
Down the defensive!
Hitting us in Holt. We'll just move west through Dorwinion.
Captain!
See if we can get that. We may lose it, only to take it back in another turn or so. Alright, and I'll have this general come up close. Alright, the Beornings and North Rune are allies. Alright, they're declaring their intentions. Alright, we can't take a spy out of here because we're under siege.
Captain!
Your honor.
Orders?
Alright, this is going to be an annoying one. And we're fairly evenly matched. 1, 2... Okay, there's not many archers, which is good. Only like 2 full units. And only one of these guys, there's a lot of cavalry. So we can only hope for some decent ground. Oh, it's terrible. Oh yeah. At least it's flat. But this is the worst. Okay, there's a little bit of an opening here, but we're not going to be in it. They're going to be, you know, probably somewhere right up here. Okay. So who do we have in front? We've got some archers, some slingers. I guess that's fine. Right behind them, it's Beornings, some woodman mercs. In the center, Dorwinion watch. That seems reasonable. Spearmen and axemen, and then behind is a bunch of archers. So this actually I like. We've got our riders in relatively short columns to either flank. All right, let's see where they are. Try to see where they are. Are they going to come at us, or are they going to move back? Well, it looks like they're kind of marching forward. Not really, just reforming. All right. They do have a couple of archers, but probably what's going to happen is they'll send all their cavalry. And so we need to be ready to quickly respond to that with our own cap. We can't hold them off with just our infantry. So we're going to halt here, start shooting. There's some cavalry on the flank, I think. Alright, this is good. Only the front couple of units are taking losses. Alright, here comes some axemen. Alright, Beorning axemen. And you can see the cav behind them, I think.
Riders! Riders!
Alright, if they're gonna do whatever, we want to take them out with our riders real quick. We're gonna have to hold there. Wait for our guys to form up. Alright, now go. What do we got going on over here? Okay. Nothing much. Good. Alright, let's get a quick break. They're only led by a captain. Shaken. Good. Broken. Alright, that's it. That's it for them. Bring your cavalry back. And, oh, we are still fighting some guys, but this is pretty lame, actually. We'll just flank them. Just throw the axes at them. Yeah, and they're going to rout too. We've got a nice group formation that I like, so as soon as they start to get out of reach of the spears, we form up again, right about here. We got to do it fast. Okay, actually they're kind of waiting for us. Good. All right, we took out the single most dangerous unit, but there are a lot of dangerous riders left. They're being very shy. Alright, is that them? I see him moving off in the distance. We're going through our arrows quite a lot. I'm hoping it's worth it. Alright, this looks like an advance, but I'm not sure. Alright, there's the cavalry back there. 1, 2, 3 units deep, and then we got some more on the other flank. Alright, so here's my riders. Alright, what are they doing? They want to flank too. If we can get a good charge, we can take them out. Oh, what's this? They're testing the front line. Okay. Alright, here we go. Let's get this side thrown in. And we gotta go back here, do the same with these guys. Yep, let's hit this unit. Hope that this line can hold. Seeing some routing, there's the general. And I do have my own general we can put in. Alright, good. We had a nice breakthrough here. Alright, I think this is gonna be working. Great. Great, great, great. Alright, yep, let's just pursue. Alright, looks like he's going to withdraw. I guess we could chase these woodmen. Get rid of the bows, that'd be nice. Okay, and now we can breathe again. We can look a little bit. Alright, let's just end it here. We lost a couple hundred guys. But it was as clean a battle as you can hope for with the woods the way they are. So how many more are waiting along the path? We're about halfway through.
Ready to ambush.
Let's get the spy over. Let's see how far. Oh, wow. All right.
Sir.
Whoa, we can get some good distance here. So they've got a lot of men. There's another army with... This looks weaker, but it does have more archers. Well, we just got to keep bringing up the reinforcements. There's not too many reinforcements. Oh, there's another big army. Damn. Okay. Oh, we're going to be in trouble, I'm afraid. Well, we bring the king over. We bring Alfgeir the Tall over. We've got units from Dale, but... Let's get another spy out of Esgaroth, and we're going to send him north and west. What we want to do is make sure Dale's not going to send anything up here. All right, and there is a siege, so they're all... Notice how they're all sort of operating in concert, it seems like. The Beornings are attacking me at the worst time, just so that my armies have, have moved over to try to defend myself, and now I'm, like, not able to help Dorwinion against this. Well, we might not be able to prevent that.
Can I be of service? I cannot do that, sir.
And where's the big army?
Delay. Without delay.
It's not like right behind me here.
Service on my way.
Oh, okay. Somehow I walked right past it. Alright, Lieutenant Grimm. So, it's a big stack. Maybe we can take both of them out with the king.
Captain.
I think that has to be the goal now. This is the way for me to expand territory. Is deal with these guys. Now, they're going to take it. I am going to lose this again. But I can get it back. Let's get up here.
Orders.
You can get onto their territory. How about this? Let's get right here, grab all those mercenaries.
Captain. Captain.
I'm a little concerned about this guy turning around, but I think I don't have to be. I think we can move him over and we'll be fine.
Move out. Move depleted, sir. Sir.
The bigger question is if he hits, if Lieutenant Grimbrand here hits my smaller army. So we've left some movement points so that we can avoid that. Yep, and they're probably going to assault again. Alright, here we've got men that we can do something with, but we're not sure yet if Dale is really a threat. So, move over here. Keep an eye on him. And now let's check out this, because our, threatening of Old Ford might be enough to bring back at least one of these big armies.
Orders. Move out. No more moves, sir. Orders.
Okay, so how can we do this? We can't get around it because of the zone of control.
Sir.
So we're going to be fighting in the woods next turn. This big army's going to turn and hit us, but it's probably not too bad. In here, they've got a noble, Rosa of Holt. So he's leading Beorning Guard. A good unit and scary. And he's got a lot of good guys with him, too.
Sir.
Alright.
March.
Oh, geez. Somehow our spy missed this. So let's slap it.
Victory. Waiting to ambush. Prepare
Let's
for
hit it
battle.
again. I think at this point I'm just going to auto-calc this.
Victory.
And now, the question is, do we go onward
Sir.
to
Captain.
Old Ford, or maybe move down here? Because we could hit Grimhold, and this is Langwyke. Grimhold might be more vulnerable.
Yes, master.
And I wouldn't mind like sort of pulling away and making this guy like have to come follow me. And I'm also curious about if the Beornings have this. I mean, this army, it looks like he's aimed in that direction.
Yes, master.
Okay, but let's see. I could get barely out of his range,
Yes, master. Moving.
and this seems pretty safe.
Orders.
All right, so yeah, let's do it.
Yes, master.
Let's move the spy down a bit farther, and we're gonna go right here. All right, we didn't hit anything.
Your honor.
So now they have got to know that we're right here, you know, sort of in between two of their most important settlements. This is their capital. This was their original capital. And the nice thing is they still hold Langwyke. They hold Parth Celebrant, right? So this region, like we could take these two and not have to worry about anything to our south, like Old Fort and Grimhold, and then this one could be like a little buffer where we know it's only going to be Beornings coming up here and not like giant Rohan armies. So we could take 1, 2, 3, any other forts they've got in the mountains if we want them.
Orders.
This guy's vulnerable now, so you know that's kind of bad. Well, let's see what they do. Probably going to attack us in Holt, and we'll lose that. Okay, this is not Holt. This is our army here, right outside Grimhold. So they moved probably the guy who was right here up to defend Grimhold. Take a closer look. Very similar to the army we just fought in the woods. It is smaller, and it does have a decent amount of cav, hardly any archers. So I think we're going to be okay with this. But this will be the battle for the next episode. We've made it to the eastern side of Mirkwood for the first time with our armies, and we are in a position potentially to move on either this or this. Now actually this didn't have a big army in it a second ago. Maybe they moved the army that was right here into Grimhold, and maybe this is from some other place. I'm sure they've got a lot of troops, so this will be a decent amount of fighting before we manage to establish ourselves here, but hopefully we can do that in the next episode. So I'll see you then.